Now, let's get into our very first conversation tonight. The Ondo State Governor, Akeredolu, has been asked to resume his official duties in Ondo State physically or transmit power to his deputy, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, so as to promote transparency and accountability in the affairs of the state. The coalition of civil society organizations for democracy had held a press conference yesterday in Abuja. The convener, Dr. Tunji Shaolu, addressed journalists. He criticized the development in the state where Governor Akeredolu has been governing Ondo State from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, since he returned from his medical trip in Germany a few months ago. Take a listen to him.
The prolonged absence of the governor creates a governance vacuum, thereby impeding the effective administration of Ondo State. You also agree with me that out of the 36 states of the Federation, including FCT, when decision is being making, even at the high levels of the leadership, the Ondo State leadership is always absent in this regard, and which is invariably affecting the entire citizens of Ondo State. And that is why we are acting as a voice of other citizens at this time of 21st century. It shouldn't have ought to be so. And that is why we are talking for this to be corrected. Equally distressing is the apparent political interferences by some persons not elected by the good people of Ondo State.
There's some portion of the press conference held in Abuja where the coalition and the civil society organization are speaking about Governor Akeredolu's whereabouts. Of course, there are some PDP opposition members in the state who are also agitating. There are some groups of elders and leaders in Ondo State who have held press conferences both in Ondo State and here in Abuja. What are the implications of this, legally speaking? Has Governor Akeredolu done anything wrong in the eyes of the law? Is there vacuum in governance in Ondo State? And, well, we've heard reasons why Governor Akeredolu says he will not be in Ondo State physically for now until a few things have been resolved. We heard his aide some times ago on this program. But let's get some reactions and some legal perspectives to the new development. I'm being joined tonight by Dr. Benson Enikwome, who's a very senior lawyer and also someone from Ondo State. So perhaps he has a locus to speak about this matter. Thank you so much indeed, Dr. Enikwome, for joining us tonight.
Good evening, my brother. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, so I said, I mean, you have a local standard to speak about this matter because not only that you are a lawyer, you are also from Ondo State. But let's get a conversation started. Has Governor Akeredolu done anything wrong in the eyes of the law with the development and the agitation that ran the air about his whereabouts? He's being in Ibadan, and there hasn't been any hide and seek about that. The Akeredolu side of the divide said the reason why the governor is not able, they've stated the reason why the governor is not able to physically come into the state. But from your own point of view and in the eye of the law, has he done anything wrong?
Well, first and foremost, every citizen of Ondo State must sympathize and empathize with our governor. We didn't bargain for this. The ailment came not because Akeredolu needed to do something for this ailment to come. It was not his fault. Anybody can be sick. And I stand in here today to say we wish him well. And we pray that God, in his infinite mercies, will have mercy upon him and bring him back to Ondo State to do the work that he knows best how to do. Having said this, Ondo State has a boundary. It's bounded in the south by the Atlantic Ocean. It's bounded in the north by Kogi and Edo, part of Osun, Ogun, and all that have boundaries with Ondo State. Therefore, there is a boundary properly so-called that defines Ondo State. When Mr. Akeredolu campaigned in 2016 to be governor, he did not tell us he was going to rule us from Ibadan. He was campaigning as a candidate who wants to take over the affairs of Ondo State, and that must be noted. Ondo State is not to be ruled from Bayelsa or close state like Osun, let alone Oyo. We need to feel our governor. We need to see our governor. He is not a governor that was voted for in diaspora. Therefore, Mr. Akeredolu not being fine, I've said that, not his fault. But we demand that we should see him. The handlers that are telling us that Mr. Akeredolu can rule from any part of Nigeria may as well tell him to go to Sokoto State or Kano State and stay there to rule us. Therefore, those arguments are not tenable. We voted for him as our governor. Ondo State built a government house for him to stay. If he needs more, we will build more. Therefore, being outside of Ondo State has deprived us of a lot of benefits, namely, the usual weekly executive council meeting, wherein approvals are given to some project and some decision of the state, have not been heard for several months. And therefore, when those things demand executive council decision, they are lacking. If anybody says in the last 3 months that Mr. Akeredolu has held executive council meeting with the state executive council, that person must be talking from the moon. And therefore, the executive council meeting is held in executive council chamber or in any of the offices that the governor may deem fit to hold same in Akure. It is not deemed to be held in Ibadan or anywhere whatsoever. 2, individuals who come to the state as investors who want to meet with our governor, they have been deprived this privilege. I'm aware that sometimes ago, the NDDC team came to Ondo State. There was nobody to attend to them because the governor was not available. And if the governor is not available, the law makes provision for his deputy to take charge. And that is why whenever any governor is campaigning for election or is to be voted in, a deputy must automatically be chosen with him. He is the one who chooses his deputy. So they have a joint ticket. So if Mr. Akeredolu is not around, it is reasonable, it is expected, it is logical to say, look, my deputy, hold forth for me. The acting capacity does not deprive Mr. Governor his governorship. As soon as he comes back, he takes over. When he went for his medical leave, we all prayed for him, and I do. And I said this on national television. I do, because I was once his aide. I don't wish my boss, my former boss, ill. He was former president of the NBA. So we don't wish him bad. We don't wish him evil. But the situation in which we are now, Mr. Kimbaloye, the state is greater than individual. And therefore, power must be handed over to be managed on his behalf by the acting governor pending the time when he returns to the office. When he returns to Ondo State,
Mr. Nikoma, if I may quickly jump in. So, so I mean, some people who are very familiar with the politics of Ondo State will say, oh, maybe because Nikoma is an Elijah man, and perhaps a lucky Aiyedatiwa too is an Elijah man, perhaps is the reason why you are advocating for in this kind of conversation. But the question will be: is there any vacuum in governance? There are those who say Governor Akeredolu, as some of the pictures we show on the screen have shown, that he's signing papers that are state of affairs that Mr. Akeredolu is superintending on from by proxy from Oyo State, nearby Oyo State. There are those who say there hasn't been any vacuum in governance in Ondo State, has it?
Well, I will address the issue of whether I'm an Ilaje man or not. I am an Ilaje man. I won't deny that particular fact. But you see, Mr. Kimbaloye, when something is wrong, we must say it is wrong. Whether an Ilaje man or an Igbo man, it is immaterial. It is the law we are talking about. I said Ondo State has a geographical zone, a boundary. It is not an appendix to Oyo State. There is now a lacuna, a big one, in the governance of Ondo State. We can't see our governor. We can't feel our governor. We can't hear from our governor. For those who have argued that he signs papers, this is novel. Mr. Akeredolu is an extrovert person. I know him well. I haven't worked with him. If you pinch him with a pin, he will react. Mr. Akeredolu does not need to be kept incommunicado. In Ilaje, we will say he has become Odudu. Odudu means somebody that have kept incommunicado. We can't see the governor. We can't feel him. He can't talk to us. If we want to unburden our affairs to Mr. Governor that we voted for, we can't see him. It is not these aides that were appointed by him that we voted for. If we cannot see him, if we cannot hear him, if we cannot talk with him, if we cannot discuss with him, then who is he governing? Where is our governor? We need to see our governor. If he's indisposed, that's okay. We agree, that is the truth. But he must not hold us to the jugular. He must not hold us to ransom. The state must move forward. That is the point I'm making. Then coming to the larger issue, I didn't choose Mr. Aiyedatiwa for him. He was the one who chose Aiyedatiwa as his deputy. When the last time he chose Honorable Agbola Ajayi as his deputy, nobody chose for him. So it is his prerogative to choose whoever he wants as his deputy. But once he chooses and he wins, then it becomes a joint ticket between him and that individual. So what I am supporting is not because Mr. Aiyedatiwa is an Ilaje. No. I am saying this is what the law says. Where the governor is incapacitated, the deputy must of necessity take over as acting. And if those who are saying that Mr. Governor is signing, is doing his work, let them show us his present state. Let them come out in a video in which we address us and say, gentlemen, ladies of Ondo State indigenes, I am Aketi. Today is 17th day of November 2023. I'm talking to you. This is me. I will soon see you. We will believe them. But for somebody to come and be interpreting to us, this looks like Ali and the angels story, where only the righteous people can see the angel, and Ali will be bamboozling everybody. We are too enlightened for that particular purpose. And that's why I commend the likes of Chief Fashoranti, our elder statesman, Chief Olufalaye Stan and Oba, who sat together and said, we cannot continue this way. This was the way the country was being ruled when late Musa Yar'Adua was sick. And the handworkers of this world were telling us, we spoke with him, we talked with him, we discussed. Ondo State should not become another laughing stock. We want to see our governor. If we can't see him, let power be transmitted to his deputy. He chose him. I didn't choose him. If he had gone to choose an Ijaw person,
all right. Let me jump in quickly. Since I'm talking to a very senior lawyer, just for a moment, Mr. Anukome, if you look at sections 89, section 190, section 191 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended, it establishes where there is vacuum, the role of the governor, where the deputy governor can take over. But I did ask the question when I started this conversation: is Governor Akeredolu is he in any way in any breach of any of these sections of this constitution?
Yes, of course. As much as it's not governing us from Ondo State, as much as we cannot see him, as much as he cannot hold meetings, as much as he cannot receive visitors, as much as he cannot address the citizens of Ondo State. Look at when there was challenge at Aiyedatiwa, and Aiyedatiwa was being submerged. We expected our governor to be there. If the man were to be, he could make statement. The people will feel it. The people will reject. Oh, our governor has come to address
but does
us.
the Constitution, Dr. Anikiobayi, does the Constitution either in inference or indirect reference to the matter at hand say categorically that a governor must be physically present in the state to govern the state?
We may need to look at section 190 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And this is important.
Yeah,
Section
I'm looking at it right now. And
yes,
I can read, it has two subsections, yeah.
Very well.
And it
yes,
says,
read the two
whenever the
subsections.
governor is proceeding on vacation or is otherwise unable to discharge the functions of his office, he shall transmit a written declaration to the Speaker of the House of Assembly to that effect, and until he transmits to the Speaker of the House of Assembly a written declaration to the contrary, the deputy governor shall perform the functions of the governor as acting governor. Subsection 2 of 190 says, in the event that the governor is unable or fails to transmit the written declaration mentioned in subsection 1 of this section within 21 days, the House of Assembly shall, by a resolution made by a simple majority of the vote of the House, mandate the deputy governor to perform the functions of the office of the governor as acting governor until the governor transmits a letter to the Speaker that is now available to resume its functions as governor. But the question here is the fundamental words in the wordings and the intent of this section is whether he's unable to discharge the functions of his office and whether he's not present. Are those established? Has it been established that the governor is unable to perform the roles of his office? Because he did tell everyone that he was going away on medical vacation, but he has since returned. So is there any breach by Governor Akeredolu based on Section 190 you made reference to?
The governor is not an angel to say he is a spiritual being for which we cannot see him. Our governor is the governor of Ondo State. The clear intention of this section, particularly when you read subsection 1, it says whenever the governor is proceeding on vacation, if he's going on holidays, the law enjoins him to transmit. But the alternative is,
but he's not on holiday at the moment. He's been back from the medical holiday
function of his office
for several months.
Hold on, sir. Discharging the function of the office, I had worked with governors before. I worked with Governor Olusegun Agagu as his special assistant on policy planning, implementation, and special duties. The function of the office of the governor is enormous. It's onerous. There are papers to sign. There are things to be done. There are meetings to be held. Meeting during the day. He meets with the political officers. He meets with the party officers. The work is enormous. It's tasking. Where our governor has failed, we have not seen him to this effect. It goes to confirm that the discharging of his function to the state is missing. And if these functions are missing, then the state is losing. A governor said he came back from holidays. I think that was on the 8th of September. From on the 8th of September till date, no one except this Ali and the Angels group that see him, nobody is seeing him. We can't hear him. He cannot talk to us, either by telephone or conversation. Things to be done in the state, the governor is not present. If the governor is not present, did we vote for him to be a spiritual father who will be issuing order from Rome? Of course not. It should be in Akure. It should be in Ondo State. Even if
Dr.
he stays in
Nikume,
your
just quickly,
his
hold
physical
on.
absence
Yeah, Dr.
from
Nikume,
Ondo
quickly.
State is tantamount to him not being around to do the work that he's engaged to do.
There was some political drama that took place within his cabinet, as some members of his cabinet, passed a vote of confidence on him, and there are some of them who stayed away from that exercise. But I'd like my producers to bring back some of the pictures of Governor Akeredolu since he returned to Nigeria. Perhaps I'd like you to speak to them. On one hand is the cabinet passing a vote of confidence. But I'd like you to see this. His fellow governors in the Southwest paid him a visit. So when you say that nobody has heard him except some group of persons, how would you describe all? I mean, I hope that these pictures come on air, pretty soon, so that Mr. Nikume can be able to verify or speak to them of some of those who had visited Governor Makinde, the governor of Ekiti State, and a few others in the Southwest visited Governor Akeredolu. And I'm wondering, what do you make of that when you say, are you thinking otherwise when you say there's just a few people who can speak and hear from him?
Well, Mr. Kimbaloyi, the brother governors that visited him, they did well. But you will know, we never heard anything that the governor said in that meeting. I am to be proved wrong. We never heard the governor speak to anyone after the meeting. Yes, Governor Makinde, Governor Abiodun, Governor Sheyi, the governor of Lagos State, yes, they did visit him. But you see, if there were no issues, it won't be like this. For example, see the picture in which they are coming down. If a governor is fit and proper, he should ordinarily see his colleagues downstairs. He should follow them downstairs to say, oh, gentlemen, I thank you, I appreciate you, you have done well. None is seen in this picture that you are seeing. And none of the governors addressed the press to say, oh, our friend is recuperating, in distant time, we're sure he will be okay. Come on, gentlemen, let's not deceive ourselves. We are not wishing Mr. Akeredolu dead. What we are saying is that as of today, he is incapable of performing the function of his office. This incapacity to perform dovetails to the local government. And it will surprise you that at the local government council, nothing is happening. I even heard that the Director General, what name they call them, the DG of local governments, are all taking money that they take, security votes, to run their local governments. It's because there is a dearth of leadership. It is that is the issue. There is
Dr. Nikume,
I
I like us to close the conversation, and this is the manner in which I like us to close it. There are those who say, well, politics is coming. By January now, the politics of Edo and Ondo will resume. And that is perhaps one of the reasons why some people in Ondo State have now found their voice and speaking about Governor Akeredolu. In fact, those on Governor Akeredolu's side have said there is really nothing that has gone amiss in Ondo State. Everything has gone well. The only reason why people are talking and the opposition is talking is because of the politics, which will resume in another few weeks. Could it be the reason? The man is not feeling okay. He has said it. He's back in the country. He said he will be back on the ground when he resumes. And there are validated and confirmed political issues between himself and his deputy, and that has been established. From your own point of view, what would you say is a solution? A political solution or a legal solution or what?
Two of them can well take place. Mr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, I heard him, and I also read him, that he said if there were to be anything that his boss saw that was wrong, that he apologized. I mean, it can't be more than that. If he has done that, then the other issue would be that the leadership of their party, which is APC, called the members of the House of Assembly and all other persons together in Abuja and spoke with them. And what we read in the papers was to the effect that the issue had been laid to rest. Where this imbroglio is coming, I don't understand. But again, like you mentioned, there are people who are interested in running for the office of the governor next year. And in order to amass enough wealth, they can use the sickness of Mr. Governor to be able to do that. Therefore, we are calling on all the citizens and indigents of Ondo State. We don't care whoever emerges in the APC or PDP or wherever it is. Ondo State deserves to be governed well. As at now, we are like a sheep without shepherd. We are rudderless. We are in the wilderness. And we need a Moses that will direct us. If a Moses dies, or he goes away, a Joshua comes in. And that's the way it's done. All we are asking that we pray Mr. Akeredolu returns well, but as at now, he is not fit and capable to govern on those days because we don't see him. We have not heard him. And therefore, we demand that the needful be done in that the House of Assembly should be bold enough to say, Mr. Governor, you will come back. But in the interim, the man you chose as your deputy will be the one that is in the saddle. If they are having issue with the deputy governor, pending the time when he's removed, he's deputy governor until they remove him. If they don't remove him, you can't use the word of mouth to say he's no longer deputy governor because we have issue with him. I think the right thing should be done. And like I said, I correct the impression. I am not one of the workers of Mr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa. I'm not one of his staff. I'm not one of his paid agents. This, I am speaking loudly and clearly. But me as a lawyer and as indigenous of Ondo State, a stakeholder in that place, and a person who has also paid his dues, it behoves me to join the voice of others and leaders to say, let Ondo State be governed well. Let power be transmitted to the deputy to manage the affairs pending the time when our governor will come over and take his seat. I'll be one of the persons who will take talking drum to the airport to welcome him when he's fit and proper to come up to Ondo State. I don't have any grudges against him. I wish Akeredolu well. I love his person, particularly when he fought on the issue of Amotekun. I was one of the persons that gave him kudos. He did well, but now ailment has affected him. Let us do the right thing by ensuring that his deputy takes over.
Dr. Benson Enukwuomehin, a lawyer, thank you so much for your time tonight and the perspectives that you have shared on the Ondo matter. Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you.